Alert! Here are 8 cancer smells people don't pay attention to. Health aura. Know it right. Live it light. Have you ever noticed a strange scent coming from your body? Something unusual, persistent, and hard to explain. What if that subtle shift in odor was more than just a quirk of hygiene or diet? What if it was your body's silent cry for help? An early warning sign of something far more serious. It may sound far-fetched, but science is uncovering a surprising truth. Certain types of cancer can actually alter your body's smell. And while these changes are often too subtle for the human nose, they're not beyond detection. In fact, trained dogs have been able to sniff out cancer with remarkable accuracy even before medical tests can confirm it. But it's not just about our furry friends anymore. Researchers are racing to create technology that mimics this powerful ability tools that could one day help doctors detect cancer early through the analysis of chemical compounds your body emits. Until then, it's up to us to listen to what our bodies might already be trying to say. Think about it if your breath suddenly takes on a metallic tinge, or your sweat starts to smell oddly sweet or putrid without explanation. Would you brush it off or take a second look? These aren't just quirks. These could be the earliest clues your body offers when something serious is developing. That's why learning to recognize these 8 unusual but important cancer-related smells could be life-saving. They may be easy to dismiss, but ignoring them could mean missing a critical chance to act early. So stay with us. What you're about to learn might change the way you think about your body, and could help you or someone you love spot a danger before it's too late. This content is essential to be universal in the nursing home and the clinic. 1. The sweet scent no one wants to smell. A hidden signal of lung cancer. Imagine noticing a faintly sweet or slightly fruity scent in someone's breath. Not after a meal or a piece of gum, but persistent, lingering, and oddly out of place. It's not something most of us would immediately associate with danger. Yet, this gentle, almost pleasant aroma can be a hidden red flag, one that may point to one of the most silent yet deadly diseases, lung cancer. Unlike other forms of cancer that manifest through visible lumps or sudden pains, lung cancer is notorious for creeping in quietly. It often advances without dramatic warning signs until it's already in a critical stage. But for some, the body whispers its warning through scent. That subtle fruity odor on the breath, often compared to the smell of fermented fruit or overly ripe apples, is actually caused by volatile organic compounds produced by cancer cells in the lungs. As the disease alters the normal metabolic functions of the body, these compounds accumulate and are exhaled, resulting in an unusual persistent breath smell. Crucially, this odor doesn't fade with brushing, flossing, or mouthwash. It's not the typical bad breath we associate with poor dental hygiene or digestive issues. Instead, it clings quietly, marking a deeper metabolic disturbance. Unfortunately, because it can resemble the scent linked with diabetes or acid reflux, it's often ignored or misdiagnosed, especially in the early stages. However, when this scent is accompanied by other signals, such as a nagging cough that doesn't go away, shortness of breath, hoarseness, or unexplained chest discomfort, it should not be overlooked. These combinations form a silent alarm system that your body is trying to activate. And that makes awareness essential. Spotting lung cancer early can dramatically improve treatment outcomes. That's why recognizing this subtle but telling symptom A fruity breath smell that defies explanation can be life-saving. Don't dismiss it. If you or someone close to you notices such an odor without a clear cause, especially if it's persistent and paired with respiratory symptoms, consult a healthcare professional immediately. Sometimes it's the smallest details, like a strange breath, that carry the loudest warnings. 2. A metallic whisper from within. When your body signals blood cancer. Imagine catching the faint scent of metal-rusted iron-worn pennies, or the tang of blood rising from your breath, or clinging to your skin after a light workout. It's not your imagination. It's not the gym, your diet, or your laundry detergent. It could be your body speaking in a language only the observant will hear. A quiet whisper wrapped in iron, a potential warning of something far more serious: blood cancer. Leukemia and lymphoma. Two insidious forms of blood cancer are often masters of disguise. They can grow silently deep within your bone marrow and lymphatic system, wreaking havoc before any pain or obvious symptom emerges. But there's one peculiar clue that might show itself early: a persistent metallic odor. This metallic scent isn't just a sensory quirk. It's the byproduct of a deeper disruption. Cancer cells in leukemia and lymphoma alter your body's normal cell production. As they hijack the immune system, they cause shifts in the levels of iron proteins and other volatile compounds circulating in your blood. The result: a subtle but distinct odor that some describe as rusty, like iron filings or old coins, most noticeable during sweating or shortly after mild physical activity. What makes this warning even more dangerous is how easily it's dismissed. We're conditioned to attribute new smells to food cleaning products, hormonal changes, or even the weather. But your body isn't random. When it sends a scent signal, especially one that persists, despite showers, breath mints, or deodorants, it deserves your full attention. This metallic odor becomes far more alarming when it's accompanied by other common but often overlooked signs of blood cancer. Fatigue that feels crushing and unrelenting. Fevers that come and go without reason. Infections that keep returning no matter how many antibiotics are thrown at them. And unexplained weight loss even when your habits haven't changed. Each symptom on its own might not raise alarm bells, but together they paint a portrait that demands medical investigation. If you or someone close to you detects this metallic signature, especially alongside these other symptoms, do not wait. The earlier leukemia or lymphoma is detected, the greater the chance of effective treatment and survival. In many cases, the body speaks before it breaks. All we need to do is listen. And next, we turn our attention to another scent you must not ignore: a sharp, acrid odor that reeks of ammonia. When your body begins to smell like cleaning solution, your kidneys could be in serious trouble. Stay with us. This could be the wake-up call that saves a life. If you found this insight valuable, please like, share, and follow to help others recognize the silent signs their bodies may be revealing. 3. The silent signal in your urine. What the smell of ammonia could be. Warning you about: have you ever noticed a strange, sharp smell rising from your urine? One that stings the nose like bleach or cleaning fluid. Most people brush it off, blaming something they ate, a supplement they took, or a skipped glass of water. But what if this unusual scent was your body's cry for help? What if that pungent ammonia-like odor was more than a harmless inconvenience? What if it was a silent alarm from your kidneys? The kidneys are your body's natural detox system, filtering blood, regulating fluids, and flushing out waste. But when kidney cancer begins to take root, its effects can subtly disrupt these vital processes. One of the earliest, most overlooked symptoms, a persistent chemical smell in your urine. This odor is often caused by the accumulation of urea and other waste compounds, which the kidneys can no longer effectively eliminate due to impaired function. Of course, not every case of strong-smelling urine is cancer. Urinary tract infections, dehydration, and high-protein diets can also produce an ammonia scent. But here's the crucial detail: when this smell is persistent, and especially when it's accompanied by back pain, blood in the urine, chronic fatigue, or unexplained weight loss, it becomes more than a curiosity. It becomes a red flag. Sadly, too many people ignore these early signs, believing they're unimportant or temporary. Yet early detection is everything. Kidney cancer caught in its initial stages is often treatable with a much higher chance of survival. Don't let hesitation become a regret. Listen to what your body is trying to tell you. If something seems off, especially with something as basic as urine, trust that instinct. The next time you sense that sharp, unrelenting ammonia smell, don't wait. Speak to a healthcare professional. Your future self will thank you. In the next section, we'll explore a far more unsettling scent, the foul odor of rotting flesh that could be an early cry for help from your skin. Stay with us. The silent stench. When a rotten smell signals a deeper threat. Have you ever caught a sudden repulsive whiff of something foul like meat left too long under a scorching sun, and thought, it must be something I stepped in? But what if that odor wasn't from your surroundings, but from your body? What if it was your skin trying to scream for help? There's a terrifying truth most people don't know. Certain types of cancer can release smells. Yes, cancer has an odor, one that's as unsettling as it is ignored. Skin cancer, especially, its deadliest form, melanoma, can sometimes manifest not just through moles or unusual spots, but through a distinct disturbing smell akin to decaying flesh. This isn't superstition. It's a clinical reality, and it's far more common in advanced cases than many realize. The explanation lies in the science of necrosis. When aggressive cancer cells grow rapidly and outpace their blood supply, parts of the tumor begin to die, literally rot. This process releases volatile organic compounds into the air, producing a putrid stench that resembles spoiled meat. These odors often emanate from open skin lesions or wounds that resist healing, subtly warning of a deeper malignancy beneath the surface. What makes this sign particularly dangerous is how easily it's dismissed. People blame poor hygiene, infection, or even a forgotten meal gone bad. Skin lesions may be tucked away in places you rarely inspect, like the scalp, lower back, or beneath folds of skin, so the early warnings go unnoticed until it's too late. If you or a loved one detects a persistent foul smell coming from a wound or mole, especially one that looks unusual, darkens, bleeds, or grows irregularly, don't wait. Seek a dermatologist immediately. Early intervention can mean the difference between a simple removal and a life-threatening condition. Because sometimes your body doesn't whisper, it reeks. Save, oith. A rotten clue. What the smell on your breath could be telling you about your stomach. Have you ever noticed an unpleasant sulfur-like smell? Something that reminds you of rotten eggs lingering on your breath, no matter how well you brush your teeth, before you dismiss it as just a stomach issue or a skipped flossing session, you might want to pay closer attention. Your breath could be giving off signals that something deeper is going on, and in some cases those signals point to a condition far more serious than bad digestion. One surprising and often overlooked clue to stomach cancer, also known as gastric cancer, is a persistent foul breath with a sulfuric scent. While this might sound unusual, there's a biological explanation behind it. When the stomach's normal function is disrupted, something that can happen when cancer begins to affect its lining, it struggles to digest food properly. This can lead to the buildup of gases, particularly sulfur-based compounds, which are then released through the breath. The smell isn't just temporary. It sticks around despite regular brushing, mouthwash, or even dietary changes. And because it's easy to mistake this type of bad breath for something harmless like acid reflux or indigestion, many people ignore it. Unfortunately, that delay can be dangerous. Early-stage gastric cancer often doesn't cause dramatic symptoms. The signs are usually subtle things like bloating, loss of appetite, or a vague sense of fullness that won't go away. That's why noticing a consistent change in your breath, especially one with a rotten egg smell, can be one of the earliest red flags your body gives you. If you or someone close to you has been experiencing unusual breath that won't improve, especially if it's paired with digestive discomfort, don't brush it off. Consulting a gastroenterologist could make all the difference. Early diagnosis not only improves treatment options, but can be life-saving. 6. The foul scent you should never ignore. A clue to colorectal cancer. There's a certain odor that's not just offensive, it's alarming. When it lingers, even after maintaining hygiene, it could be your body trying to whisper something serious. A persistent smell of feces, especially when unusually strong, may signal an underlying issue beyond digestion. One of the least discussed yet deeply telling signs of colorectal cancer is this very scent, distinct, pungent, and often ignored. It can be caused by internal bleeding infections or tumor growth that disrupts the natural flora and function of the bowel, resulting in abnormal gas or discharge with a foul odor. Colorectal cancer develops in the large intestine or rectum, and, as it progresses, it can interfere with the elimination of waste, sometimes leading to partial obstructions or ulcers that emit this unmistakable smell. It's not just about bathroom habits. This odor can cling to clothes, seep into the air around you, and remain even after showers. And while it's easy to assume it's a dietary issue or a temporary imbalance, its persistence deserves attention. Alongside the odor, colorectal cancer may present with symptoms such as chronic constipation or diarrhea, blood in the stool, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, and a constant feeling of incomplete evacuation. These signs may appear subtly at first, which is why many people dismiss them until it's too late. If you notice that the foul fecal odor is frequent, unexpected, or comes with other changes in your bowel habits, don't ignore it. Early diagnosis dramatically improves treatment outcomes. Seek a medical evaluation, promptly colonoscopy, fecal occult blood tests, and imaging can help uncover the truth before it's too late. Recognizing this smell for what it is, a silent cry for help, could be a life-saving decision. 7. The odor of decomposition. A hidden clue to colorectal cancer. Among the many silent warnings our bodies send, the persistent foul odor resembling decomposition in stool is one that often goes unnoticed, yet it could be a crucial clue to one of the deadliest cancers worldwide colorectal cancer. While the scent of feces can naturally vary due to diet, hydration, or medication, a consistent, unexplained change, particularly one that mimics the scent of rotting matter, may signal that something is seriously wrong. This disturbing smell arises because colorectal tumors can disrupt the digestive process, slowing down or altering the way food is broken down and absorbed. As a result, toxins and harmful gases begin to accumulate in the gut, producing a sharper, more offensive odor that lingers. Most people tend to overlook such symptoms, mistaking them for common digestive issues like indigestion, food intolerance, or irritable bowel syndrome. But the danger lies in this very confusion. Colorectal cancer develops quietly and frequently reveals itself only in more advanced stages when chances of successful treatment are lower. That is why the smell of decomposition, when coupled with other symptoms like blood in the stool, chronic abdominal pain, unpredictable bowel movements, or unexplained weight loss, must not be ignored. These signs indicate a possible breakdown in gut function, potentially due to a growing mass that is interfering with nutrient absorption and waste elimination. If you or someone close to you begins to experience this persistent odor, change, especially without an obvious dietary cause, it's imperative to seek medical evaluation. Diagnostic tools such as colonoscopy, fecal occult blood tests, or abdominal imaging can detect early abnormalities, sometimes even before other symptoms arise. The earlier colorectal cancer is caught, the higher the survival rate. Your sense of smell, often underestimated, might be your first line of defense against a hidden threat. Pay attention to what your body is trying to say. And if something smells off, literally, it's time to act. In the next section, we'll uncover another sinister scent, the musty odor linked to cancers of the mouth and throat. 8. The moldy warning, a hidden signal of mouth and throat. Cancer you must not ignore. Have you ever spoken to someone and noticed a peculiar musty odor like damp wood or hidden mold and brushed it off as bad breath? What if that smell was more than an inconvenience? What if it was a silent cry for help from the body? Deep within the shadows of the mouth and throat, a deadly disease can develop quietly, almost invisibly. Mouth and throat cancer often hide in plain sight, and one of its earliest and most overlooked warning signs is this very smell. Unlike typical halitosis, this odor isn't due to food or hygiene. It stems from something far more sinister, the necrosis of tissue bacterial infections in hidden lesions and the release of volatile organic compounds by cancerous tumors. As these compounds accumulate, the breath takes on a distinct mold-like scent, an unsettling but potentially life-saving clue. People with this symptom often delay seeking medical attention, mistaking it for dental issues or poor hygiene. But this delay can be costly. If you or someone you care about experiences this musty smell, especially when accompanied by hoarseness, persistent throat pain, difficulty swallowing sores that won't heal, or unexplained earaches, it's time to act. This scent is not just unpleasant, it's a whisper of something deeper, a biological alarm bell. Early-stage cancers often present subtle, strange signs before pain or visible changes occur. Don't wait for it to grow louder. If you detect this smell or any of the associated symptoms, seek help from an ENT specialist or oncologist. Tests like biopsies or imaging scans can uncover the truth. When caught early, the chances of recovery are significantly higher. Pay attention to what your body is telling you, because this moldy whisper might just save your life. Sometimes your body doesn't shout, it whispers. And one of those whispers might come in the form of a strange, lingering smell. Not the kind that fades with a shower or a change of clothes, but something more persistent. Something that tugs at your intuition and won't let go. If you or someone close to you begins to notice an odd, unfamiliar odor that seems to come from the body and won't go away, it's time to lean in, not look away. This could be one of the earliest, most subtle signs that something deeper is unfolding within. The first and most powerful step is awareness. Do not dismiss it. While unusual body odors can sometimes be linked to harmless conditions like infections or dietary changes, a smell that is constant, unexplained, or worsening deserves attention, especially if it's accompanied by other changes like fatigue, night sweats, unintentional weight loss, pain, or visible lesions. Your next move should be clear: book a medical appointment. When you speak to your doctor, describe the odor in detail: when it started, how often it appears, and if it worsens after activities like exercise or eating. Mention any other symptoms, no matter how unrelated they might seem. Keeping a log of these occurrences helps identify patterns that could guide crucial diagnostic tests such as blood work scans or biopsies. If you feel your concerns aren't fully addressed, seek a second opinion. Trust your instinct. Specialists like oncologists, ENT doctors, or dermatologists are trained to detect early warning signs that general practitioners might overlook. Above all, remember, this early detection saves lives. By listening to your body's quiet warnings, you give yourself or someone you love the most precious gift of all time and a fighting chance. If this message resonates, share it. Someone else might be living with a symptom they haven't yet understood. Have you ever walked past someone or caught a strange scent on your own skin or breath and thought, "That's odd, but probably nothing"? What if that faint, unfamiliar smell was your body's way of whispering something urgent, something deeper than a common cold or a rough day? The human body is a remarkably intelligent system, one that speaks long before it screams. But the language it uses is subtle. One of the most overlooked signals: changes in body odor. And not just any odor. Smells like rotting flesh, sulfur, ammonia, mold, or even something deceptively sweet. These aren't just oddities. They could be the earliest signs of something more serious, like cancer. But here's the truth: most people don't listen. They dismiss these changes, delay action, and wait until symptoms multiply. That's when time begins to run out. The most powerful way to protect your health and the health of those you love is to shift from a reactive mindset to a preventive one. Prevention isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about understanding the early signals your body sends and acting before the danger becomes irreversible. This means embracing habits that build resilience from the inside out, committing to regular medical checkups, eating nutrient-rich foods that nourish your immune system, staying active to regulate metabolism and cellular function, and eliminating toxic behaviors like smoking or binge drinking. But beyond lifestyle, it also means becoming an attentive observer of your body's changes, especially those that are silent, hidden, or seemingly unrelated. If you ever notice unusual smells in someone close to you, don't turn away. Approach them with compassion, not fear. Your words, your encouragement could be the very reason they seek help in time. And if the signs are persistent or accompanied by other troubling symptoms, it's critical to go beyond hope, take action. Because sometimes what smells strange may be the body's first cry for help, long before the real pain begins. Let's now explore what other signs may accompany these unusual odors and why recognizing them early could change everything. In the grand symphony of life, your body plays the most important instrument. It speaks not in words, but in whispers, subtle signs, quiet shifts, and sometimes peculiar odors. These are not random occurrences. They are early warnings, small lights flickering in the distance, asking to be seen before the darkness grows. Don't wait for the sirens of serious illness to wake you. The human body is a marvel capable of sending messages even when trouble is just beginning to brew. The smells we've explored might seem trivial, but to those who truly listen, they are life's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Pay attention." Early detection is not just a medical strategy, it's a lifeline. It offers more treatment options, more hope, and the powerful possibility of survival. So don't brush off what feels different. Unfamiliar smells, subtle bodily changes, or symptoms that won't go away deserve your full attention. Every second counts when it comes to your health. If you or someone you love has noticed any of the warning signs we've discussed, please don't wait. Encourage action. Schedule that checkup. Speak up. Taking care of your health is one of the greatest acts of love you can offer to yourself and to those who cherish you. Life is precious, and protecting it starts with awareness. Share this message. Send it to a friend. Start the conversation. Because the more we know, the more we can save. You have the power to make a difference, not just in your own journey, but in the lives of everyone around you. Don't underestimate it. Don't delay. Now ask yourself, will you ignore these signs or use this knowledge to change your life? The choice is yours. The time is now. If this message touched you, like it. Follow us for more life-saving insights. Share this video, because one share could save a life.